Hello everyone, this is FlatLine, and today I'm going to be giving you a PvT for Heart of the Swarm. I've been pretty inactive on my YouTube, so sorry about that. I've been playing on Twitch though, I've been streaming, was doing the campaign, and now I'm finally done with that, which is pretty good. If you haven't played it, I recommend it. It's definitely unique compared to Wings of Liberty, so hopefully you might like it as well. I just started playing laddering. I think this was on my third day playing. I finally got into Masters on the third day, which is pretty cool. Alright, so I'm going to be spawning on the top right as a red Protoss on Neo Planet S, and my opponent's going to be I Love MKP. He's going to be playing as the blue Terran on and the bottom left on this map. So PvT has been pretty difficult. I've been hearing from people. The drops, the Widow Mine drop is pretty strong. It kind of like disrupts the style that we've been playing on Wings with that one gate expand. It's double forge-esque style, but I am actually going to show you how it's done. Alright, so this build is definitely, in my opinion, pretty safe from the games I've played. I'm not sure completely yet, so I can't really give you that guaranteed slap on it. But anyways, you're going to go for a 9 Pylon then Scout, as usual, for my usual PvTs. You're going to get a 14 gateway, still Chrono boosting probes while you're doing that. Now, the thing you need to do is check if he's getting gas or not. If he's not getting gas and he's going for that 1 Rax expand, you know, that Wings of Liberty style, then you just play Wings of Liberty. But if he's getting that gas, then of course, now it's time to play like Heart of the Swarm. Now you need to think, what is he actually going to be doing? And that's when you actually want to go for 2 gas early in the game with this build. So you want to get this gas right after the gateway, and then Pylon, and then 17 Cybernetics Core. If you want the food, I'll probably jot down the food in the description. And then you want to get your Assimilator ASAP. You want to get the second one as soon as possible. And what you want to do with the second gas is actually Chrono boost out the first Sentry. You want to get the Sentry out before you get the Mothership core, because you want to get that energy. If you watch my PvP build from Heart of the Swarm one, I still do that and it's awesome as hell. I rush for hallucination, and the reason why is because you need to scout. You need to know exactly what the heck you're doing or they're doing in PvP, and the same thing goes with PvT when it comes to when they get gas. You need to know if he's getting the Hellion drop, is he doing the Widow Mine drop. This definitely alternates the way you manage your army, how you split them up from one base to the other. So once you get that Sentry out, and you also get this Mothership core on the way, I'm going to throw down that expansion. It's a little bit later than the usual 1 gate expands that you've seen, but it's pretty safe when they get gas, in my opinion. So you're going to throw down this Nexus, then you want to get a Robotics Robotics Facility. Keep on forgetting that's what it's called. And then you can get that Sentry out whenever you can while you're still making probes behind this. That Mothership core is awesome. This is probably the best unit coming from Heart of the Swarm for us guys. The best unit. You're gonna see why in this game. So I'm not only gonna show you the opening that I do in PvT, but I'm gonna show you how I play throughout the game, because that's where it gets pretty difficult for some guys. You do want to cut off some probes at 30 supply. You want to make sure you get these 2 gateways before that, and then you want to Chrono boost the Cybernetics Core one more time here. I will put down the Chronos as well in the description, so I'm kind of like rushing through here a little bit, so I'm sorry about that. It's just it's pretty late right now, and just realized, you know, I haven't really done that much ever since the Heart of the Swarm got released. But yeah, so you're gonna be able to hallucinate. You can see, look at this timing. Before 6:30 I can see everything. Before 6:30 you can see everything, and that's giving you enough time. Okay, I saw these 2 Widow Mines. Now I know I'm dealing with Widow Mine drops. So how you want to split this army up is you want to have the Mothership core and the Sentries You want to have 3 sentries, by the way, before work gets done. And you're going to be able to get 2 observers out before he can even get to your base with this. You can see him rushing through here as fast as possible. And it's not really going to work that way. You're going to have these 3 stalkers over here. Your first 3 warpings going to be stalkers. They should be inside your main with that observer, because that's what you think. You think he's going to drop him inside your main, but he's actually going to be coming to the front. You can see, well, bam. That second observer finishes up. A little bit mismanaged that there. And this is why you want to chrono boost that Mothership core as soon as possible. You have enough energy for that photon overcharge to defend that front, which is awesome. Now you just have to defend this drop right here. And this gets pretty much cleaned up fairly well. That medivac gets out with 7 HP. Pretty lucky, to say the least. But look at this. Defense perfect. You know, let's look at the units lost tab. I only lost 3 workers in that process. 2 of them coming from the drop, and that's it. So if you look at the units lost tab, I'm in the lead. I also have the faster expansion as well. So things are looking pretty good for me when it comes to the workers. So from here on, I'm just gonna go robotics bay, grab these double forge. You also want to get these gas. This is where I'm not really gonna show you the actual build, because it fluctuates on different things that you see. You know, like let's say if he wasn't expanding, which I'm seeing here, then I probably wouldn't be getting these double forge. You know what I mean? Like I'd probably stop making probes and go from there. So I'm not gonna write that. I'm just gonna show you the opening, which is up to the 3 stalker, which is up to once these warp gate finishes. From there on, it changes to whatever you need to do to cater to whatever you scout with that hallucinated phoenix. But yeah, so we're just gonna go through the game like a regular old game. We have the observer right here, we have an observer right here, and we have another observer somewhere chilling inside his main right here, checking out what he has inside his main. So the bad thing about this build is that he has the typical structures that you would see from a 1 racks expand. No gas. The 3 racks right here, and a starport with the reactor with 1 engineering bay. But look at this, his money is really tight. He can't really afford that command center that you'll see sometimes. He can't afford the double racks that you'll see sometimes. All this money has to be invested into the 3 racks and the starport, because his income was shot. It was pretty hurt from the opening that he did. He didn't do enough damage to justify the cost. So it's not looking good for him. All you have to do is pretty much defend. So my mindset in this game is pretty much to get 3-3 and then push. This map is pretty good for 3 base timings, but once you get that 4th, it's really hard to defend your 4th. The 4ths are pretty far apart. Usually your 3rds are right here, but then your 4th is all the way down here, so it's really hard to go from one side to the other. And if you get this expansion, it's just far away out of position. It's really hard. So this 3-3 timing that I have in my mindset is catered to this map, and actually works on most maps anyways. So and it's pretty much how I play PvT anyway, so this is what I'm gonna do. But I will grab a 4th behind the pressure. Now he's gonna come over here. He sees what I got. He sees the Colossus. I don't have that many units over here, but at the same time I do have 1-1 finish. Gonna be starting up 2-2, adding all my extra gateways. Pretty much standard here. Now he's gonna come over here and stem. He's actually gonna target fire this Colossus. That's unfortunate, but look at the stem. Force fields are good, and also I got my photon overcharge. The photon overcharge is awesome against the second attack that Terran does. Once that first fail attack happens, the second fail attack, or the second attack that they're gonna do, doesn't really go well when you have a Colossus and you have a photon overcharge. See this photon overcharge, the Nexus has 7 kills. Doesn't do that well because he doesn't have that many units. His income, like I said, was shot from the beginning of the game. You see him grabbing his 3rd at 13 minutes in the game. He doesn't even have a 4th and 5th racks inside his main. That's how bad it is. He doesn't even have a second engineering bay or the armory. Now he's throwing down the 4th and 5th racks. You can feel like it's a little bit later than usual. I'm checking to see if I can find any of his expansions. After that first attack, I felt like we traded pretty well, and the fact that he can't really come back and play pretty aggressive, so I can grab this 3rd. I'm still getting these 2-2. That's why I want to prioritize. You want to make sure when you're using this observer that you are constantly clicking on their units. A lot of people don't do that, but you really want to do that. You want to see where their upgrades are standing at this point. He's only 1-0 right now, and I'm 1-1. And 2-2 is almost finishing up for me. You know, this is looking really, really good with that 3-3 timing mindset for you. Another thing I like to do, especially this is definitely catered to Heart of the Swarm, but I still do this in Wings, is you want to get these cannons. You want to get them a little bit faster than you do in Wings of Liberty. And since I'm getting this third over here, you actually don't want to put any cannons inside your main. You actually just want to cater the cannons at your natural and have your army over here. There's only two typical pathways that they usually take. It's going to be up here and right here. You can see how my observers are checking out both sides. I see his army moving over here towards the top side. He did scout this third. Look at this. Gonna react. Gonna bring my army over there. 2-2 has finished. 3-3 is on the way. Plus 1 armor is finishing up for him. And you're just gonna go for that standard. And you can see I'm getting the Archons as well. You can't really engage into this, but he's gonna try to do this. It's not gonna work. You see him losing all of his Vikings, which is really bad at this point for him. I mean, his economy is really bad. So losing those is really bad at the same time because he doesn't have that many medivacs. It's getting really difficult for him. He's adding on that 3rd and 4th, getting a 5th and 6th medivac on the way for him. That means his Viking count's been shot down. He doesn't have that many Vikings, so he can't really control. He can't play this aggressive, or he's playing very, very dangerous at this point. Because I have the Colossus still alive for me. I like to put these cannons over here, of course, but it looks like I found out where his army is. He's gonna do this some kind of like fancy drop here. Now this is probably one of the biggest mistakes I did, but it doesn't even matter. What you want to do is, in this situation, put on that photon overcharge, tag with some of these units here. Needless to say, I do clean this up, but I did have some couple of mistakes here. I thought this was far enough, but it wasn't, fortunately, but it's okay. I did lose all those stalkers. That's the downside. So we kind of switched off between those two. But I'm still having that mindset. You know, I'm clicking on his units. He's still 1-1. He is still 1-1. And I'm getting 3-3, and 3-3 is almost finishing up. And this is why I feel like a lot of people are misunderstanding how to actually deal with the drops. They're not using the Mothership Core. See this position of this Mothership Core? It can defend the main in the natural. So if I had to, I could use a photon overcharge because it should be stocking up on a lot of energy. A lot of people like to have the Mothership Core with their army. That's really nice. The only time I would agree with that is if you're gonna play aggressive, you want to have the option of mass recalling. But at this point, I don't really need to use the mass recall because I have that upgrade advantage. I don't think I'm gonna be having that kind of situation. The situation I would have in trouble is my army is really small because I'm investing a lot into the tech and the upgrades. So my army's not that big. You can see 142 to 148 in favor of him. It's not that big, so I need to have some kind of defense back on my base instead. I have 3-3 finished, charge is done as well. You see how it's all syncing up very, very well for me. And this is when I'm gonna attack. He's only 1-1 still. And when I see that, that's when I'm attacking. You can see my army moving in a very forward position, adding some High Templars, which is going to turn into Archons at this point because I don't really want to, I can't afford Storm. And since I was going for 3-3, 3-3 actually benefits the Archon than the High Templar. High Templars don't really get anything from it. Maybe the +3 armor, but that's about it. Pretty much, you get High Templars just for the Storm. The Storms don't really get anything, aren't really affected by them. And look at this, his Viking count, like I said, it's been shot. He doesn't have that many Vikings, and that's the worst part about it. He's gonna come over here and try to do some damage. Look at that, a warp in here. I have photon overcharge right here, and there's the GG coming out from him. Pretty much set and done right there. Clean cutter build right there. So if you are having some troubles with PvT, I would recommend this build. Now this build is pretty hard to execute for the lower leagues, so I don't really want to suggest this for people that's like in platinum and all that. If you're in platinum, I would honestly just stick to 2-gate robo or something like that. You need to figure a build where you get pretty fast scout inside his base and then expand. Now mine's pretty greedy in the sense that it doesn't have that many that much production in early game. So if you are like on gold and platinum and you can't really hit these crisp timings, then maybe go with a 2-gate expand or something like that. 1-gate rubble, then expand. Add an extra production to the build that I just did, and then expand. It's a little bit later expansion, but you add that extra production to produce some units so you can help defend these attacks that these Terrans can do to you. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I hope this really does help you out in your future games against Terran. If you do have any questions, you can leave a comment. You can also tweet at me on Twitter at twitter.com/FlatLine's2. If you haven't already, you can follow me there as well. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you like some Protoss content coming from me at youtube.com/FlatLine's2. So hopefully you can hear me a little bit better than the other videos. I just got a new mic, as the mic on my headset kind of broke. If you're watching my stream, you kind of see that happening. It's quite annoying, but I finally got a new mic, so hopefully it's a little bit better. Yep. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.